Shalom, Markim, Rakam, Akapash, and Jim, London, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakodash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole products, preaching his truth and not sincerity. Hey, back again with another video. And, I wanted to go into, the seed of men, right? Because, families, tribes, nations, right? They all come from the seed of men, all right? And this is why, the world is how it is today, right? Because of the seed of man, right? And all these families that we have on the planet, all these nations, even though really, there's only, was it 17 nations, if I remember correctly, biblically, that were made into nations. Not this, I don't know, however many hundreds that, we got today. Okay, they all stem back to one of these original families that are in the scriptures, right? And it's like we always said, we don't deal with this whole mixed seed thing. All right, you are who your fathers are, man. Okay, and it's very clear in the scriptures that's how it's dealt with. All right, and so I just want to go through a few scriptures just to affirm that. Because even these gutter rats today, these small hats, man, they talk about their mother's lineage. That's what makes them, Jewish and all this stuff, right? But that's not what's written in the scriptures, and nowhere in the scriptures does it ever mention that. The factor of the woman is not included in determining one's race. Okay, determining one's ethnicity, determining one's family or nation. Okay, it is not a factor, right? We're gonna go for evidence of that. We know today's women that they like to they want to be patted on the back because they carry a child for 9 months, because they feel it's in their power to terminate a child if they want to, so they want to pat on the back for doing something that's righteous. But that's what you're made to do, right? And there was a time where you would be happy for the fact that you got pregnant, man, right? Because that is your purpose, man, and to fulfill that purpose, right, is to have children as a woman, because that is your function. That is your function that differs from a man. Okay, your function is to conceive seed, right, and to bring forth children, right? Though you're not the reason for the life of that child. Let's just put it that way, for lack of better words, right? We're gonna go into a little biology lesson, right? Your womb, right, is an incubator. It is what nourishes the seed that you receive, right? The life is in, the man's ball sack, man. These this sack has life, man. These balls have life, right? And that is what you nourish. Okay, the one, sometimes two, you get twins or whatever the case may be. The one that gets there, okay, and gets inside the egg and impregnates you, all right? Because that's what that act is. The impregnate is the sperm, get inside of that egg, all right? And that is what you nourish for 9 months, right? Because as well as that is the whole role of a woman, to nourish, okay, to support. Okay, you're not leading roles in anything, right? That is not what you were designed for. That's not your purpose in life. Now, I know women of today, because Satan's giving you, the Babylonian juice, and you feel like, because Esau's giving you a space to act up, right? You feel like you don't have to conform to these norms or these or nature, all right, these norms of nature. You don't feel like you need to conform to that anymore because Esau giving you a safe space to act up and rebel, right? But all things are going to go back to nature. All things are going to go back to normal and its rightful order, all right? But anyway, let me get this because I know I mentioned this, right? Genesis 30 verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. Right? Because really it's a shame unto women that can't produce children. You know, they don't feel like women. And secretly deep down inside it's true for a lot of women today. You know, even though they, you know, they talk about having, you know, living up their lives and having no children, that when they get older and they got no children, they start thinking about things, and you know, they start feeling depressed and shit. So, you know, you missed out, man. You missed your boat. Too old now. All right. But anyway, yeah. So it used to be a prized thing for a woman to have children. Now, not so much. You know, women out here murdering unborn children. You know, and like I said, it is alive, right? Because the life is in our ball sack, man. All right, the life comes from us. Okay, in the form of the sperm. Okay, that is what you're murdering. Okay, life. You know, these things are alive, man. All right, they have life, and all your part in the whole process of rearing children is to nourish it. Okay, and that doesn't even stop from when, you know, from outside the womb. After it's outside the womb, you nourish it with the breast milk, give it a different type of sustenance. Right, your whole role as a being on this earth is to support life, support your husband, support your children. that is your role in life. And the reason, you know, things are so messed up right now is because you don't want to acknowledge that role. You know, part of the problems. You know, ain't all the problems, but part of the problems, right? But anyway, let's kick into the bulk of the lesson, right? So this is Numbers 1. I'm gonna start from the top, right? Because we get this scripture a lot, and this is the, you know, the prime one we go to show you that, you know, how lineage is reckoned, right? And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the second month in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers. Right? When you read the scripture, you're going to hear that a lot. Okay, of their fathers. Don't ever mention mothers. Okay, mothers is not a part of the equation, you know, to do with where you come from. This is why this whole mixed seed business doesn't make it, you know, doesn't really exist. Or I'm half this, or quarter that, or 2/8 this, and no, you are where, you know, wherever your fathers are from. Okay, that is how the line, the lineage is decided. Okay, if you got the blood of your fathers in you, man, that is where you're from. You forget about where your mother's from. Okay, that's not important. And you know, even when you look at it, like the Most High, you know, made us man and women different, right? And he made men to be the superior, to have the preeminence over the women. As the scriptures say, the women are the weaker vessel, right? This is 1 Peter 3 verse 7. It says, likewise ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, right? The Most High made women as a weaker vessel, right? Weaker on, you know, many different levels, but, you know, weaker nonetheless. The man is meant to have preeminence above the woman, all right? That's why we're made stronger, we made, you know, we made different, made with faith, right? Made to be leaders, right? That's how we were made to be, to guide households, to rule households. All right, and now, you know, you women want to kind of usurp authority and you know, come past a man's rule over in his own house, right? But that's not how things are supposed to be, right? And when you look at it from perspective of survival, right? So that, no, let's go back to the beginning now. Knowing that women are weaker, okay, in a world full of men, right? Obviously, a woman is gonna have to, obey, right? She ain't gonna go out there and fend for herself. She ain't gonna go build no town with her bare hands. She ain't gonna do that. She ain't gonna go fight for anything. Okay, she's most likely gonna get killed, raped, um, kidnapped, whatever, man. Subjugated, right? Because she is naturally weaker. Now, men go and build things. Men go and fight for things. Men go, and do the labor, right? So naturally, men build civilizations, right? And men protect civilizations, right? And therefore, with that, you get property. You get, what's the word I'm looking for? So you get substance, man. You gain substance, right? So now, when a man gets his wife, has his children, it's in the name of him, because he is the one with all the possessions. The woman doesn't have anything, because she is benefiting off his work. All right. So, and that's looking at from a carnal perspective, because ultimately it's the Most High, the way things are, set up the way they are. But you look at it like that, the only way you have any right or entitlement to anything is if you carry the family name. That's why your sons carry the name. That's why you take on the man's name. You're under his house, under his rule. All right. And that's how things are naturally, in natural order, right? It's only because Esau, like I said, he's turned this world upside down, okay, and giving you women license to buck up, okay. But like I said, all things are gonna go, all things are gonna return to its natural order, man. All right. But anyway, let me finish this. It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Right. So women are the weaker vessel at the end of the day, and they still are. Okay. Everything else is just an act. Okay. They want to act like they're greater. All right. But yeah, like I said, I just gave some reasons why things are the way they have been. Logically. Right? It ain't no woman building no nation. Yeah, you're gonna give birth to the man's seed, and men are gonna come out of you. Men and women are gonna come out of you. But you didn't. You're not the reason of that life. Going even higher, the Most High is responsible whether or not you conceive seed or not. Right? But the life is in the man's balls, man. Right? That is his son or his daughter. Okay, you birth them. Right? But that's it. All right. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. I haven't got these in any particular order, so I'm just screw it, man. We'll just go here straight away. Right, it says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 2. Let's start from 7. Start from 1, right? It says, I myself also am a mortal man like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made from the earth, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man. Okay, that's what he is of. He's of the seed of man. Okay, women don't have seed. Okay, he can't be the seed of the woman. Okay, he's the seed of man. Okay, that's what she's carrying for 9 months or 10 months, right? She's carrying the seed of man. That's what it means to conceive. That's to take in seed. All right. And I say, when you go through all these genealogies in the scriptures, the women are never mentioned. Right? They're never mentioned. This is Nehemiah chapter 7 verse 61. And get verse 60, right? All the Nephilims and the children of Solomon's servants were 392, and these were they which went up also from Telmelah, Telharesha, Cherub, Adon, and Immer, but they could not shew their father's house, nor their seed, whether they were of Israel. Right? So, you know, why were they being sought? Why was their father's house being sought after? Why were they asking about what, you know, because they want proof that they were of such house, right? Such a house, where, you know, depending on what tribe they were from or whatever, right? Never asked nothing about the mothers, man. All right. These men are Israelites regardless of their mothers. Okay, it's all about who their father is. You know, but they couldn't prove that. Right? Couldn't prove it, right? They couldn't use their mother for nothing. The mum weren't going to come and help them. Alright? Because it was irrelevant. Alright? It's 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 11. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. So just going back to the whole preeminence thing, you know, we are the principal in the house, in the family. Okay, the house follows after the man. All right. And just touching on this point as well, because that'll link up with this one. 1 second. Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 says, and the Lord Power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. I will make a helpmeet for him. Right? And what ended up happening? Right? Eve was created. Eve was brought to Adam. All right? To be that helpmeet. To support him. To help him. Right? That is a woman's role, to help and to support their husband. Okay, when they become one flesh, it's to support and help their husband. If they're not married, guess what? You're there to help and support the father. Right? Help around the house. Do you know, the chores or whatever needs to get done. You know, go to the market, whatever, man. You're there to support the father in his house. Okay, everybody is an asset in the house. Everything is a property to the man who built that house. Okay, built that land, built, you know, that nation. You're all assets to that. Everybody. All right. But that is the role that a woman is supposed to do. But they don't want to do that today. That life is awful and dreadful. I want to be like a man. But you're not a man. You know what I mean? You're not a man. You didn't build all of this, man. Now you just wanna take it. You know, you just want to take all the hard work that's been set up before, and you know, act like you did it. That you set it up. You didn't set shit up. Okay, men built this world, right? And like I said, the only reason why you're getting a leg up right now is because Esau likes chaos. That is the only reason. You know, you're not necessary for these things that you're doing right now, because all you're doing is mischief anyway. You know, look at women today, man. You know, I've seen more modest prostitutes, man, than a lot of these women out here. That might have to be a lesson. You know, you're just increased in wickedness since you've been liberated by Esau, man, which is nothing but a false liberty, man. You know. Anyhow. Let me get this. This was a good point when I thought about it, right? It's Genesis 19, verse 32. All right, and this is speaking about the daughters of Lot. So after the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, right, they were, by themselves, right? Lot's wife had died. She got turned into a pit of salt, right? And it was just him and his daughters. Now, great was the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, man. They actually thought they were alone, right? They thought that everyone had died, right? And so they decided that they were going to get pregnant, right? And preserve their father's seed, right? Now, why didn't these two women, become nations? Why is it they were preserving their father's seed, preserving the family line? Because if they would have got with somebody else now, if there was someone around, let's say, right, it wouldn't have been their line. It wouldn't have been the lineage. It would have been wherever that man was from. They would have been preserving his lineage, not their father's, and not their own. Because Lot had no sons. All right, so let me read this anyway, right? This is verse 32. So, come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Right, and they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in, and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose, and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. Right? And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. Right? Now, bear in mind, we're reading this now. We don't know the names of the daughters. Okay, but we know the names of the sons that came out. Right? And these men became nations. Okay, the Chinese and the Japanese, as we get into in a minute. Right? That's the nations that came out. That's the seed that was preserved. Okay, and the Lord separated those seeds, right? They became two nations. Okay, but the daughters now, what happened? What about them? Nothing. They don't become no nation. Okay, that is the seed of their father. That's what that is. All right. So thus both the daughters of Lot were child by their father, and the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Okay, Moab is the Chinese, and those related, right? And Ammon are the Japanese and those related. All right. That's why they look the way they do, but because of incest, right? But they became nations from Lot's seed. All right. That's what happened, right? There's no nation or bloodline that came from a woman. It's Acts chapter 7 verse 8. I'm starting from 7 here. It says, and the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said the Most High, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. Right? So Israel, right? And he gave him the covenant of circumcision, and so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him the 8th day, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. Now, throughout these generations, man, there were daughters, or dinos of Jacob, right? Dinah never became a tribe. Dinah is not a tribe of Israel, right? They're all men. The tribes of Israel are all men. This line that we're reading about, this holy sacred line, is all men. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? There were women about. There were daughters around, right? You go into the book of Genesis, right? All the genealogies. There were women around, right? There were daughters around. But that is not the focus, man. When we talk about the descendants of all these nations, they're all men. All right? It is what it is. Okay, so again, the whole mixed seed thing is not a thing. You can't be half this and half that. It's Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, right? This is the Lord's genealogy. And again, there's women around, because otherwise, how are these men having children? But the women are not the focus. Okay, the women are not the determining factor of someone's lineage. Right? So like I said, all these families of the earth, all these tribes and nations, right, they all come from men. Okay, they all built the lands that they inherited. It wasn't women. Women don't have ownership to the things that they didn't earn. Right? They didn't build nothing. And they weren't going to build nothing. You see what I'm saying? The foundation of all these things are men. Alright, anyway, verse 1 says, the book of the generation of Yahushua Mashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Okay, and all we're going to read here is a bunch of sons, a bunch of men. Alright, Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brothers, and his brethren, right, his brothers. And Judas begat Pharez and Zerah of Thamar, and Pharez begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram. Again, the wives are not mentioned, the mothers are not mentioned. And Aram begat Aminadab, right? And Aminadab begat Naasson, and Naasson begat Salmon, and Salmon begat Booz of Rechab, and Booz begat Obed of Ruth, right? Ruth, that's mentioned in the scriptures, of course, right? She's mentioned, right? Very fleetingly, right? But so the Obed begat Jesse, right? But again, Ruth is not the pivotal point in this, right? Because Ruth was not even an Israelite, if I remember correctly, right? I'm pretty sure she was more about something. Let's have a look. Let's do this. Let's see. Right, it's in the land of Moab, so I'm in the right area, I guess. Right. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she was of Moab. Brothers can correct me, man, if I'm wrong. Yeah, there we go. Verse 4 there confirms that. Okay. So yeah, so she wasn't even an Israelite. So let's go back. Salmon begat Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias, right? So yeah, some of the women are mentioned, in some of the cases here, but the lineage of because this is supposed to be proving that the Lord sprang out the tribe of Judah. Now all these are Judites, right? Not all these women are Judites, evidently, right? So that's what it's supposed to be showing, the lineage of the fathers, right? And Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abijah, and Abijah begat Asa, and Asa begat Josaphat, and Josaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Ozias. Ozias begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Achaz, and Achaz begat Azekaz, and Azekaz begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Ammon, and Ammon begat Josias, and Josias begat, you notice he keeps saying begat, you know, I believe it means basically come forth, right? Because they come forth for the man, it don't come forth for the women. Okay, yeah, you birthed them, but, you know, like I said, the seed came from the man, right? So you're joined unto his lineage, okay? And Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begot Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Elikim, and Elikim begat Azor, and Azor begat Sadok, and Sadok begat Akim, and Akim begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Matan, and Matan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, whom was born Yahushua, who is called Christ, right? So that is really the genealogy of Yahushua through all the men, right? I said that the women are not an important factor in what tribe he belongs to, you know, where he's from. And even when you, because there's another lineage based off Mary, right? And even then it goes through the men. It doesn't go through no women. All right, Mary didn't have a determining factor on the tribe of the Lord. Okay, that was through Joseph being his biological father. Right, the Lord's tribe came from the fact that Joseph was a Judite. Okay, going like all the way back to Abraham. You know, that's what this was showing. All right. So, you know, with that, you know, I'm gonna end it here, I guess. But Lord willing, the point has been shown and proved. You know, and you know the title of the video is you know, proven. You know, that out of men, the seed of men, come forth the nations, man. Okay, and you know, all lineages upon the earth. All right, it doesn't come from nowhere else. Okay, so you know, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. Lord, this is edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video, man. So till next time, I say shalom.